Best friends for over 50 years and still going strong. Welcome to Rearview Diaries. I'm Paul, your host, and today I like to share one of the sweetest reminders I ever received about power of lifelong friendship. It all started with an airport pickup. As I pulled into the parking pickup area, I noticed two elderly women walking toward my car. Before they even reached me, something caught my attention. They weren't dressed identically, but their outfits had the same style, just different colors. Then I noticed they each had matching carry-on suitcases. I smiled and greeted them. "Good afternoon, ladies. Let me help you with your luggage." As I loaded their bags into the trunk, I couldn't help but laugh. I have to ask, what's the story behind the matching luggage? One of the women smiled and pointed at her friend. "She kept on admiring mine every time we traveled together," she said. "So about 10 years ago, I bought her one for her birthday." The other woman laughed. "I guess she got tired of me borrowing hers." That was my first clue that these two shared something special. Once they settled into the back seat, we started chatting. "So what brings you to Atlanta?" I asked. And one of them answered with excitement, "We came for Paul McCartney." She laughed and added, "He's older than we are, and we figured we shouldn't wait too much longer. Who knows how many concerts he'll do." Then she leaned forward and whispered as if sharing a secret. It was actually cheaper to fly from New York to Atlanta than buy tickets back home. We all laughed. As the ride continued, I listened to them talk back and forth. "Did you make sure our hotel room isn't next to the elevator?" one asked. "You know, I can't sleep with all those people making noise." Without missing a beat, her friend replied, "Of course I did. How many years have I been traveling with you?" It wasn't just a conversation. It was the way they spoke to one another. Comfortable, playful, effortless, like they've been having the same conversation for decades. So I finally asked, "How long have you two been friends?" And one of them smiled proudly. "We met when we were 16. The other quickly added, "So over 50 years now." I couldn't help but say, "That's incredible." She nodded. So we've been through just about everything together. As we continued driving, they shared more of their story. About 15 years earlier, one of them lost her husband. Since then, they made promise to each other every single year they would take a trip together. Sometimes it was a concert, sometimes a vacation, sometimes just somewhere they've never been before. Before that, traveling together was harder because life was busy with husband, children, and career. Now, these annual adventure has become their tradition. I asked the woman whose husband was still living, "What does your husband think about the two of you always traveling together?" She smiled. "Oh, he adores her. He understands how important this friendship is." Then they both started to laugh. And one of them said, "I know absolutely everything about her." The other replied, "We practically finished each other's sentences." Then came the stories. "I remember when she lost her virginity." The car exploded with laughter. "And I remember when you had your first baby," her friend answered. "I was right there beside you." Then another memory. I helped you through your divorce. And you helped me after my husband passed away. For a moment, the laughter became quiet. "You got me through the hardest time of my life." And there was a long pause. Then one of them reached over and gently touched the other's hand. No words were needed. As I listened, something strange happened. Without even looking in my rearview mirror, I stopped seeing two women in their 70s. In my mind, I could hear two 16-year-old girls laughing together, planning what restaurant they were going to eat at, making sure they packed everything, reminding each other about medications, double checking hotel reservation. And one of them say, "Don't worry, I made our dinner reservation. I know exactly what you like." It wasn't just friendship. It was a lifetime of knowing another human being. Every habit, every fear, every celebration, every heartbreak. When we arrived at their hotel, I helped unload their luggage. They thanked me with warm smiles before walking towards the entrance. I sat there for a moment watching them disappear through the hotel doors, and I realized something. I don't have friendship that lasted over 50 years. Like many people, life happened. College, career, moving, relationship, distance. Some friendships slowly faded, not because of conflict, but simply because life got busy. Watching those two women made me ask myself an important question. Am I investing enough in the people who matter most? Friendships don't survive for 50 years by accident. They survive because someone keeps making the phone call, someone plans the trip, someone remembers birthday, someone chooses to show up even when life gets busy. These two women reminded me that friendship is one of the greatest investments, not because it's convenient, but because over time it becomes family. As I drove away, I couldn't stop smiling. I wasn't thinking about Paul McCartney anymore. I was thinking about two 16-year-old girls who simply never stopped being best friends. Thank you for riding along with me. Until next time, keep looking up, keep talking to strangers, because everyone has a story, and sometimes one conversation reminds you to call an old friend. I am Paul, and this is Rearview Diaries. If you like my stories, please subscribe and share with your friend, and make sure you like it. Thank you.